Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing to build off there as well, is just like creating the environments. Like it's a hitting coach's job to make sure we're exposing them to the right things, right, throughout the week and throughout the days, right? And again, we can talk about this is why you can't do this in a tweet, right? We could talk about programming, right? Like I'll just use my experience for example. It's like we used to do the day before a game, everything was feel good, right? Because you break them down, you build them back up, you ask them midweek to execute. We would chart everything from an execution standpoint. We'd do feel good, but not mindless feel good. It'd still be execution. Like even if it's like poolside bomb would be their drill, right? 4 swings of poolside bomb, 4 swings of hit and run, right? Like go out and you're still expected, like the speed's lower, or we're doing it off an arm, but you're still expected to execute. Like with our guys, you always had to voice what your round was going to be. Are we hitting spin? Are we asking for spin? Are we asking for, oppo? What are you doing so that I know what your approach is? And then you're able to then execute and we're able to kind of have a conversation of what went wrong or did you do what you were expected to do, right? That's the job of the hitting coach, right? And so many in the private sector don't understand what goes in. Again, we've heard it before. Glorified gym teachers is what college coaches can be called. And again, that's ignorant to kind of even hint at with after talking to a lot of these guys, of understanding the hoops that they have to jump through to make sure that their guys, each and every one of them, is developed as an offense and taken care of. But just like the ability to create the environment that's actually going to make guys better, it's just insane, right? The ability to put two machines, right? Going back to my experience, we used to put two machines and then be like, hey, run it on third, less than 2 outs, you get 4 swings, right? And sure, great. Oh, good job. You grounded out to short. Good job. Execute. Like, no, like freaking, oh, you swung and missed, right? Because that was always my favorite question. Like when for guys and players nowadays are bought into the machine. It's more of the coaching side that's not bought into the machines. Like when there was the first initial transition to start using machine, there was a lot of tug and pull between player and athlete. Oh, I want to feel the barrel. I want to feel good. Yada yada yada. But the reality is then we've all gotten accustomed to it. Everybody uses it. High school programs use it. So guys are more acclimated to it when they get to college and beyond. But my question used to always be to our guys or anybody whose questions is like, how much do you swing and miss in a game? And get 3, 4 at bats, maybe take 5 swings, at least one, maybe two. How much do you swing and miss in practice? Like to me, if you're really going to get better, that needs to be a 1-to-1, right? At least once a week, you need to expose yourself to the same swing and miss percentage as you saw as you execute in game, right? And I'm not like that. That's my point. Is it's okay to swing and miss in game, but for some reason in the sport of baseball, it's not okay to swing and miss in practice. We're the only sport that encourages 100% success rate in a sport that only has 30% success rate in game, right? Like there is a huge disconnect. And if we could shrink that gap a little bit, then I think we're getting better. And what you see is guys get better. The biggest and the last thing I'll say on the complaints about the machine is so many people say it messes up timing. The one thing that I will stand on my soapbox and die on a hill, good hitters can struggle off the machine, but I've never once seen a good hitter that has struggled off the machine that it didn't expose some form of a swing flaw, right? It is the ultimate ego killer, right? Like it will show every swing flaw. If you can't time up a machine, you probably are moving forward too fast. You're not in an adjustable position because that thing comes out. Sometimes it comes out fast and smooth. Sometimes it jiggles around in there. Like it creates adjustability by forcing you to get to a position to hit and not be starting your swing before the ball's even coming. Going, as I always just say, is go trying to grab the ball out of the machine. So many hitters want to go grab that ball out of the machine and hit it. It's no, you got to let it come to you and then we're reacting, right? So that's one thing. It's like if a hitter is struggling with timing, they're probably not adjustable. They're probably moving too fast forward and all the things like that. That doesn't mean they're a bad hitter. That doesn't mean they can't hit at a high level. It's just showing a swing flaw that could be fixed. If they can't hit a fastball out of the machine, they're missing under everything. They're probably too uphill in their swing. They're probably not, able to get on plane. They're not able to hit line drive. Like all of those things are distinct flaws that can be exposed by machines. So everybody I've ever known that has struggled off a machine doesn't necessarily always mean they'll struggle in game. A lot of times it does, but the reality is like the second I see a kid off the machine, I'm like, there's three more things that I just picked up on that can be fixed and we can continue to work on and develop that we wouldn't have known had we just hit feel good BP that you're able to sync up in time, right? And people, because that's a dance and everybody can sync that up in time. The goal of baseball, a pitcher, I'll ask you this, is to do what?
Mess up timing.
But we're the only sport that sits there and insists on only just timing everything up. And we're wrapping up here. I'm sure you want to make a point. And that's the disconnect between the private sector and when they ship their guys off. Those guys want the prettiest swings, the highest exit velocities, the most expected slug in there. They want to chase these things. And that doesn't always translate directly to the game, right? They would rather spend time standing on yoga balls and hitting front toss than getting their guys better, because that's that's how you use your lower half. And all of those things matter. They do. But we also, as a hitter, are trying to hit 90 to 95 with good breaking balls, changeups, the ability to throw it to both sides of the plate, the ability to pick your leg up, hold it there, shimmy, and then go. The whole point of pitching is to make you uncomfortable so that you can't just sync everything up perfectly and have your lower half move efficiently and then your upper half sinks behind it and we just crush everything at 25 degrees, 95 plus. It's like, yeah, congrats. If you can do that off a tee and off of a front toss, great. It means nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think getting guys comfortable failing too, just from a mental standpoint, like because hitting is really hard.
Really freaking hard.
Hitting is really, really hard, and like you're not gonna be successful. You're not gonna go 3 for 4 every day, and you're gonna have to understand that you're gonna have to kind of battle through some times when you're not feeling good and where things aren't going your way, and to not be exposed to that in practice will kind of lead to, you know, like a tough slide. If you're in game and all of a sudden like it's not translating, you're going to start asking questions and you're not going to be able to mentally deal with the failure that's going to come with games if you don't have a good process and don't know what the challenge and the failure feels like in the practice setting. And like you said, like you have to do both. You have to, like, we have to have balance. There are definitely times for feel good days. There's definitely times when you're building a swing that you can't be doing it off a machine. But like you said, every hitting coach we've also talked to talks about they want guys that are adjustable. They want adjustability. And so, yeah, if it messes up timing, then like you said, that maybe you're just not adjustable, which is what a lot of these college coaches want. They want you to be able to be adjustable, especially because, like, you know, you're talking to Nate Thompson. He's got prepared guys, like you said, to face guys like Paul Skeens who are 102 and then throwing a slider at 92. What BP arm is going to get you ready for that?
And also, like, congrats, you feel good. You're still going 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Against that. Like, that's the difference to me.
And like, sometimes that's okay too.
Well, yeah,
and like if you, but okay. if you go into it and you haven't failed in practice and you go into it and you go 0 for 4 off Skeens and you have 4 really good at bats and you hit the ball hard twice, that's a good day. That's a really good day, right? And like even Coach Thompson says, like, we don't like strikeouts, but when you're facing a guy like Skeens, and we specifically asked like Skeens, it's like, hey, you know, I have to tell him, like, we're going to strike out today, some guys. We just are. It's going to be impossible not to. Can we do it on 6 pitches?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And if like you've only seen 40 miles per hour, you're going to do it in 3, because it's going to be like, good morning, good afternoon, good night, like 3 fastballs right down the middle. So, I mean, we can definitely go so many different ways from that conversation, as it always feels like once we wrap up these conversations. But, you know, really awesome trip to Arkansas, as always. Be on the lookout for the completed product that should be coming out in the next, you know, month and a half as we continue to roll out our stuff. next up Clemson. So if you're still listening to this and you're like, man, that's pretty cool, they went to Arkansas, but we ain't done yet. And we got a ton of good stuff planned. So make sure you smash that subscribe button, follow on all social channels. We got clips coming out each and every day. We don't put definitive statements out in tweets. We intentionally don't. We let the clips of coaches that discuss the great things and have nuance in their arguments talk about it. And we take some notes from there and highlight it. So we try to create a unargumentative baseball, kind of landscape and conversation. So that's our main thing there. So make sure you're following so you don't miss any of that. And we'll see you next time on the Baseball Development Hub podcast.